Roy Wood Jr. has entertained millions across stage, television, and radio. In addition to stand-up comedy, producing, and acting, Roy has been a correspondent on Comedy Central's The Daily Show with Trevor Noah since it began. Now you can see Roy every day in his own comedy sketch show, 31 More Days of Being Home for the Holidays, and it is funny. Say hi to Roy Wood Jr. Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to Hollywood Live. My guest today is all the way live. You know him from Comedy Central. Of course, I'm talking about Roy Wood Jr. He's a correspondent with Trevor Noah, and now he's got his own show, and he's here to join us as Santa. I love it. Hi, good morning, Santa.
Well, ho, ho, ho. Well, excuse me, I'm Black Santa. Well, a ho, ho, ho to you and yours. And how are you doing? Isn't it messed up how a deep voice can just make any Christmas song sensual?
I know, isn't that the truth?
Well, old Frosty the Snowman had to come back one more time and help those kids and get it together one more time. Like,
I love
what?
it. Roy, you have just, in the midst of what seems to be a never-ending pandemic here, you've brought us some joy for the holiday season with your new series on Comedy Central.
What we're doing is just 31 more days of being home for the holidays, and essentially it's just it's programming. It's a block of programming over the course of the whole month, where we're literally just kicking back and watching holiday episodes of some of the best stuff, the best comedies, and the best TV shows and the best movies. We're talking The Office, The Cleveland Show, Parks and Recreation, 40-Year-Old Virgin, Grown Ups. We're talking 51st Date, Kevin Hart in Get Hard with Will Ferrell. And also, we're blocking out some time for Drunk History. I don't know if you saw the Octavia Spencer episode of Drunk History, but that's a conversation for another day. It's just a time to watch programming that gets you away from any of the politics that's out there, any of the corona travel drama that's out there, any of the, I don't even know, did we put out all the forest fires yet?
We had one pop up. Nope, popped up yesterday, the Silverado fire.
See, the election took that off the news cycle. So it's a lot of chaos out there. And what we've created is just a programming bubble where you can sit and laugh and have a good time and also stay at home. And if you are around your family, just go hide in a back room and watch me for the next month. Jokes, sketches, the whole nine. But that's basically what we're doing on Comedy Central all month.
You are hilarious in your bubble. Now, was this an idea that you came up with that you've been wanting? Actually, you've done this before. This is not new. You did this.
Yeah, I've done this before with Comedy Central a couple of years ago. This is the third year that they've done it. Blake Griffin was the host last year, and they came to me because you couldn't, it's more traditional when we've done it in the past, where it's just a fireplace and a Christmas tree, and you sip the eggnog, but we have to acknowledge the pandemic that's happening. And the question that, we were having with Comedy Central was just, if in your perfect world, how would you spend Christmas? And for me, it would be alone. It would be alone in a bubble, away from all of y'all, because I know one of y'all got that cough, and I don't trust you. You're lying about your COVID test. Somebody asked people what they got on their COVID test. They say they got a B-. I go, okay, then that means you got it.
You got it.
That just means you got that cough. You can't be around me. You got that cough. So we built out, basically a snow globe, and I live inside of it. That's where I eat. That's where I sleep. There ain't no toilet, so we're going to have to figure that out. I got the plumber coming through today at 3:30.
Yeah.
See how we can figure out the toilet situation.
You kind of need that.
But
every now and then.
Yeah, it's fun just to get away from everything that's happening out there.
Oh, it really is. And you have really entertained us and been funny for a very long time. You've been a correspondent with Trevor and the show since what, 2016? How long have you been on this show?
Yeah, 15. I've been there 5 years. I came in first day with Trevor, September 28th.
Wow. I can't believe it's been 5 years already. My gosh, amazing.
Yeah.
Where,
Yeah,
it does. You've been working on your comedy for many, many years, though, even before that. What was it about you, and when did you realize, I'm like, I'm kind of funny, and I should make this work for me?
I never thought that I could do this for a living, but I knew that I could do it as an escape from just, pressure and drama I was dealing with as a 19-year-old. I knew I was funny probably as early as middle school in terms of having a sense of humor of some sort, but the actual concept of professional structured stand-up comedy, that didn't come until college. I started taking journalism classes, and public speaking was one of the classes. So you had to get up in front of the class and give a speech, and sometimes the class would laugh. And that was like the first hit. That was like the first hit of the comedy dope. And I was like, ooh, I like that feeling. I made them laugh. There's a sense of control. There's there's something, there's a bit of ego involved in any form of entertainment, I believe, but especially stage performance, where I'm going to invoke an emotion in you and there's nothing you can do about it. I'm going to tickle you with my words. Like that type of control. The same power you feel over a 3-year-old where you're tickling them and they just can't get away from you. It's the same thing as a stand-up comedian when you're on stage, and it's fun. So I think I identified it in middle school, acted it, but it took me till college to really act on it in a more structured capacity.
Well, it's working for you really, really well. Certainly on Comedy Central, and I think you've got some other specials and things that you're working on, and we hope to see you in the future. Who do you look to as, one of your favorite comedians?
Sinbad, who I'd like to wish a very, very special holiday get well soon,
Yes.
as he recovers, from the stroke. But I would say Sinbad and Chris Rock and Wanda Sykes are probably the three, if we're just talking comedians that are just out there still doing it today, that I enjoy watching. Sinbad is very lively with his face. Chris Rock with his point of view. And Wanda Sykes, and this is something I don't think people really understand or even care enough to even appreciate, but her use of pauses between thoughts as she's getting to her point. Well, she'll say something, and then she'll sit right there and process it with her face and silence. And then get back into the joke, and then da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And that's something that it's masterful, and it's something that I think a lot of people don't notice immediately about comedians, is their ability to use silence. Dick Gregory, the late great, is another one that was very good at using silence as part of how he, created inflection and influence within his material. So I'd say, those three living, if we're talking dead comedians, I could go on and on, but let's just keep it to the living.
Yeah, let's and unfortunately Dick has left us too. I was so pleased. He'd been a longtime friend and actually one of my mentors many, many years ago when I started in the business. And we were lucky to see one of his last shows. Oh my gosh, he was brilliant. I mean, and I think he was like 85 then. But he was the most brilliant I had ever seen him. So he left us with
all the greats dates on the books, and I just hope to be loved long enough to be able to be in the same position.
Yeah, no, I think you are, because you know why? You got on the great little Santa jacket there. Where'd you get that plaid jacket, bro?
I don't know.
Because all the brothers gonna want one of those for the holidays, since we got to sit up in the bubble. Well, at least look good. We know how to look good. Up with
LaToya. She does styling for the Daily Show. I'm sure she can find it. This is my Christmas business casual look.
Okay, right. And I heard you say, just in case the cops pull you over, you'll have your suit on. As Black Santa.
Absolutely. I'm dressed for Christmas, but I'm also dressed to, hey, officer, I don't want no trouble. Look at my tie.
In a year that we have seen, like you said, so much, including, George Floyd and the rise of Black Lives Matter. How important is comedy, and how do you take this horrible material that is happening and just use it to make us laugh?
I think that it's important to first capture people's emotions so that people know that they're not alone in feeling the way that they feel. I think a lot of what's happening if we're just going to keep it, let's just keep it within race and police reform. There's a lot of people gaslighting Black people and saying, no, what you're seeing ain't what's really happening, or what you're feeling isn't really real. So until you can acknowledge someone's feelings, they're not going to want to laugh with you, because that's the thing with The Daily Show. It's just something that we need to laugh at together, but it's about finding the right place within a story to find those issues. And when we talk about tragedies like George Floyd or Ahmaud Arbery or Breonna Taylor, the issues and the funny is not within the tragedy itself, but the absurdity of the people who do nothing to change the system that allowed these atrocities to happen. So that's where we're able to find. We did a story, Ahmaud Arbery is probably a great example. I did a story where I spoke with a Georgia State Representative called Gilliard, who's trying to change the Stand Your Ground law, which was the law that the murderers of Ahmaud Arbery used to justify gunning this man down. So the joke isn't within the tragedy. The jokes are within the policy and the people who dare to vote against something that could change that and not possibly, definitely save lives in the future. So, you know, it's definitely a delicate balance, because there's a lot of pain, there's a lot of hurt, and there's a lot of anger in the world, more so than, in my opinion, way more so than I came in Obama's last year at The Daily Show. Tonally, it was a totally different show. Even the first year of Trump, as he was setting all of his doomsday chess pieces into place before acting them out, it was way different than what it was this summer of 2020. So I think you have to first meet people and acknowledge people's emotion and their truth. And once you do that, then I think it gives you the leeway to try and find the places for humor within a particular, story.
Roy Wood Jr., you are brilliant. I can just tell you, you are going to have a very, very long career, and you will be entertaining all of us for a long time. But right now, everybody go check out Comedy Central. What time does the show air? I mean, everybody's streaming different times, but when can you catch it?
Daily Show is 11 o'clock Monday through Thursday, and 31 more days of being home for the holidays. Is all month long, all during the day, prime time. We just watching The Office and Parks and Rec and all of these movies and stand-up specials. So if you want an escape from everything else that's going on in the news, come to Comedy Central. We got you from morning, noon, and night.
I love it. I love it. And we got you too. Anytime you want to come on, please come back, Roy. And
Absolutely.
everybody else out there, and enjoy your holiday, hon. Enjoy. Mm-hmm. And find a plumber today so you can get a bathroom up in there. In the bubble. Just saying. Take care. And Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa to you, and Happy New Year. It'll be better. It'll get better.
To you.
Okay. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in today to Hollywood Live, and we will see you next time, because you don't want to miss any of these. They're all great, just like today.